My name is Miki Tazaki, a 28-year-old housewife. Today, I'd like to talk about a troubling incident that happened between my ex-husband, ex-mother-in-law, and me. I married my ex-husband, Yoshiyuki, about 3 years ago. I was 26 and he was 35 at the time. We met at work, and we eventually got married after dating for a while. His family was quite rich, and his family was the owner of MoniRobo Corporations, a very famous company. He was their CEO right now, and simply put, he had more money than he knew what to do with. Having married into such a family, everyone was jealous of me for a while, but things weren't perfect. My relationship with my mother-in-law wasn't off to a great start. My mother-in-law, Ikue, was one of those traditional conservatives that were very strict to others.
What the hell are you wearing? You're part of our family now, so don't embarrass us by wearing that thing in public.
She was very strict and aggressive towards me, but I didn't feel like fighting her, so I had no choice but to just listen to what she said. By the way, her husband passed away years ago. But anyway, every time Ikue saw me, she would ask me this.
When can I expect a grandkid? Hopefully soon, right?
That's right. She's been looking forward to us having kids. She probably does want grandkids, but I feel like she's more concerned about securing a successor for their business. So I didn't really have a choice when it came to having children. I did want a kid either way, so it's not like I was against her demands or anything. But no matter how hard we tried, I couldn't seem to get pregnant. It's not like we weren't trying, so I started to get worried around 6 months into our marriage. So I went to the hospital to get an infertility test with my husband. A few days later, I went back to the hospital to get the results. My husband had to go to work that day, so I went alone. I was kind of expecting it, but I got some bad news from my doctor. After my doctor told me everything, I was devastated. That's when I got a text from my husband. He was obviously asking about the last results, but
How was it? No matter what the results were, I want you to be honest.
I'm infertile, just as I expected.
Really?
Yep,
I knew it. I thought it was weird that you weren't getting pregnant.
yep.
So what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna try to get it treated?
Well, the doctor told me all about it, but apparently treatment might not even be possible in my case.
How much would it cost if we were to do it though?
Around $10,000, maybe more.
But that's too much.
But we could do it if we wanted to, right?
Well, we don't even know if it's gonna work, right? It's not like we know for sure that you'll be able to get pregnant after the treatment.
Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean we should give up. And we have to think about your succession too.
But
Well, adoption is an option.
that's not an option. I'm getting shivers just by thinking about raising a kid that's not mine.
That's a bit harsh. Well, either way, we gotta start thinking about what we're gonna do.
Yeah, eventually. But what's the point of talking about this if we don't really have a solution?
Oh, come on, don't be like that. After that incident, my husband stopped coming home. He only came home about 3 or 4 days every week, and I rarely ever saw him. That's when, one day, my mother-in-law came to visit me at our place. My husband was away at the time, so I was alone with her. But that's when she brought this up.
God, I knew you were a failure as a wife, but I didn't know you were worse at being a woman.
She was talking about my infertility, but she continued.
I can't let you drag our name to the ground any further. You need to leave.
That's when she handed me a set of divorce documents. Wait a minute! That's something my husband and I should talk about amongst ourselves. This is none of your business! I thought that was a valid criticism, but that's when my husband came home. But he was with a girl I'd never seen before.
My bad, Miki. I got this girl pregnant, so problem solved. So leave.
And just like that, he revealed that he had been cheating on me all along without shame. And that's when my mother-in-law added,
See? You don't belong here anymore.
The girl standing next to my husband seemed proud of herself, as if she had just won a battle against me. I can't believe she's smiling through all this chaos. I didn't have the energy to argue all of these idiots, so I just accepted the divorce. But I had no intentions of going out without a fight. I requested that they pay damages to compensate me for the divorce. I was willing to go to court, but they accepted the request without putting up a fight. Well, I guess this amount of money is nothing to them. So I used that money to move somewhere far away. I found a new job and started a new life. Fortunately, I was pretty good at my job, so I was able to get a well-paying job at a pretty famous company. I even met someone at work. His name is Hiroshi, and we work at the same office. He's very good at his job, but he comes from a regular family. To be honest with you, I'm tired of rich guys. And a few years later, I noticed some things were off with my body. I need to tell you something very important. Are you gonna come home late today?
Yeah, I might be a while. What's up?
Well, I should tell you this in person, but I can't wait, so I'll just tell you now. I'm pregnant.
Really?
Yep, I even went to the doctor to make sure. So, what do you think I should do?
What do you mean? Didn't you want kids?
No, I mean I do, and we're definitely gonna have it and raise it, but I was more so asking about a relationship.
Oh, I see. But you have nothing to worry about.
So you're gonna marry me?
Well, I guess if you want to put it that way.
What? What is that supposed to mean? Don't you want to get married?
No, I do!
Then let's make things clear. You know this already, but I've had a bad experience with marriage once already, so you're making me worried.
Oh, come on, take the hint, would you? I wanted to tell you in person because I'm serious about our relationship.
What?
But I need to prepare some things. So why don't we talk about this tomorrow?
Sure. And just like that, I was pregnant, and my boyfriend was happy for me, so I was over the moon about this. And just as he promised, he proposed to me in a very romantic way. We also met each other's parents, and things were moving along well. A few months later, we got married and had a wedding, moved in together, and everything felt perfect. But one day, when I was resting at home, I got a text from my ex-husband. To be honest with you, I kind of expected him to reach out to me. He probably was confused, and someone he thought was infertile all this time suddenly got pregnant.
Hey, I heard a rumor that you got pregnant. Is it true?
How'd you know?
Well, we have a lot of mutual friends, so it's true, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
So you got treatment, huh? It seems like it worked quite well for you.
Actually, I didn't get treatment. I mean, I didn't need it in the first place.
Huh?
I wasn't infertile to begin with.
Is that supposed to be some kind of joke? So it was just a coincidence that you never got pregnant while we were together, huh? Why would you even lie about being infertile in the first place then?
Well, long story short, I did it because I wanted to get a divorce with you. If I told you that I was infertile, I thought you would just move on to some other girl.
Huh?
Also, I technically wasn't lying. One of us was definitely infertile. But it wasn't me, it was you.
You're kidding, right?
Nope, and you can go ask your doctor. Apparently you just don't have enough sperm in your body. So basically you have no balls.
I don't believe you! You're just making this all up because I broke up with you! Besides, I have a son now!
Well, if you'd like, I can show you the test results. But only if you dare.
Stop joking around! I don't believe you!
Yep, that's right. My ex-husband was the infertile one all along. I knew about this from the beginning, but the only reason I didn't tell him the truth is because I knew about this affair from well before we got the test results back. I already knew that I was going to get a divorce with him at that point, so I told him that I was infertile so that he would divorce me, and I just wanted to prank my cheating husband. I thought this all would be a minor inconvenience for him, but things ended up taking a much more interesting turn. If my ex-husband is infertile, that means his son isn't really his. The girl he was cheating on me with was probably sleeping with other guys too. And she thought getting with my ex-husband was the best choice she could make, since he was rich and all. What a selfish witch. I'm actually impressed with how cold and calculated she is, to be honest. And their son is supposed to be around too now. So all this time, my ex-husband was raising someone else's son as his own, hoping to make him his successor. What a joke. But my ex-husband would not stop bugging me about this, so I went over to his place and showed him the test results. This was damning evidence that proved that my ex-husband was the one that was infertile. I finally felt like I got revenge on him for treating me like crap for all those years. But that wasn't the end of the story. A few weeks later, I found out that my ex-husband was arrested. This was what happened. Shocked and enraged, my ex-husband was at a loss for what to do. He couldn't even go to his mother, who was happy to finally have a grandson. He could have gotten a DNA test to check whose son it was that he had been raising all along, but that would only make things clearer. That would prove once and for all that he had been tricked by his current wife. And being the proud and petty man that he is, he couldn't let that happen. So he gave up thinking about what to do. He just drowned himself in alcohol 24/7. That obviously worsened his relationship with his wife, and they were constantly bickering over the tiniest things. That's when it happened. He was, as always, drunk that day. His argument with his wife got pretty intense and,
You whore! You lied to me!
his anger was past his boiling point. So he picked up a pair of knives from the kitchen and started swinging them around. No!
I'll never forgive you for this!
And he rushed towards her. His wife managed to run away, but she now has a massive scar on her face. My ex-husband was quickly arrested after his wife called the cops, and things just got out of hand. And mind you, this was the CEO of a famous company doing all of this. This was all over the news the next day. And so within days, he lost his reputation, wealth, and everything he valued. His company was bought out by some other big company, and his wife's scar is going to remain for the rest of her life. And she becomes so mentally unstable because of that she rarely goes outside anymore. Honestly, she deserves it. And as for my ex-mother-in-law, she was obviously shocked by what had happened. Her health deteriorated quickly following the incident, and she died a few weeks later due to heart failure. Fortunately, my ex's son is still too young to understand what's happening. He's now being raised by one of my ex's relatives. So that's the gist of what happened. It's definitely a terrible outcome for a lot of people, but I don't really feel bad for any of them. I guess they all got what they deserved.